It's nice to be outside, isn't it? Good evening to all our family, friends, faculty, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2025. My name is Henry Morgan, and I'm honored to be this year's valedictorian. First things first, you guys did it. Congratulations. It's really hard to believe that we've made it up this far. So before I begin, I'd like to take a moment to thank a few people who've helped me along my journey to get here. Thank you to Mrs. Palmakowski for teaching us that Lodi high minus Heidi low all over the square of what's below. And that's not some strange chant or forbidden spell, it's just the quotient rule for calculus derivatives. I look forward to using that soon. Thank you to Dr. Herb Fozzie, never forgetting to deliver her weekend safety brief. And luckily by doing this, none of us ended up in the hospital, the newspaper, or jail. Thank you to Mr. Canuck for teaching us that the relationship between guns and butter is absolutely imperative to knowing how economics work. Thank you to the administration, teachers, staff, and coaches, and anyone else who has worked hard around the clock to make sure we're successful in whatever we've done. I'd like to thank my family, Maggie, Jesse, and Abby, especially Abby, who included me in her speech 4 years ago, so I thought now would be a good time to return the favor. I'd like to thank my classmates for making my experience at Line Mountain fun and enjoyable, with all the memories we've made along the way, including the excessive use of brain rot, but I'm glad our skivvy days are over. I'm looking down at everyone wearing their caps and gowns, and it's made me think. I see student athletes, musicians, artists, hunters, mechanics, actors, farmers, and so much more. It's made me reflect on a few things. How we've grown as individuals, how we've shaped our identities, and what truly makes each of us special. And by special, I don't mean the outward things like our social status or what we look like. What I'm talking about is our internal and intrinsic gifts and talents that we bring to the table. Some notable figures that come to mind when I think of gifts and talents are Tom Hanks, how he lights up the screen with his incredible ability to act and portray so many characters in our favorite movies. Sir Isaac Newton and his mind have shaped the way we view the world of physics, mathematics, and science. Artists like Michelangelo, who sculpted incredible pieces like David on display in Florence, and who can forget about the time Whitney Houston shook the world with her rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner to commence Super Bowl 25. All of these people, and so many more, have one thing in common. They chose to share their gifts within themselves with the rest of the world. So take a moment to think about what life would be like if none of those individuals decided to use their talents for such good things. The reason I decided to talk about gifts and talents today is because I've noticed a few things throughout the last few years that I've spent a long time reflecting on. Like I said before, looking down, I see 63 incredible individuals with amazing gifts and talents. However, some of those gifts and talents aren't very well known. I won't name any names, but I've been fortunate enough to hear some of the extraordinary singing voices from some of our student athletes, and I was absolutely blown away. I couldn't believe my ears. Then there are musicians in our class with skills that go far beyond their instruments, or artists who can inspire others through their words. There are so many students with talents in areas that you just wouldn't expect, like a quiet student with the ability to crack up an entire room with one joke, or another who is exceptionally good at thinking outside the box to solve a problem. The hidden gifts that I've had the pleasure of experiencing firsthand were eye-opening to me. So I had to ask myself the question, what is keeping these gifts hidden? These talents are amazing. Why isn't he involving himself in the musical or choirs? Or why doesn't she start a debate club? I remember a line from one of my favorite movies, A Bronx Tale. It's a Romeo and Juliet story that took place in the Bronx, New York in the 1960s. Calogero, or C, Sonny called him, his father had a quote in the movie that really stuck out to me. The saddest thing in life is a wasted talent. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that I do the exact same thing. Walking down the track, hearing pomp and circumstance, all I could think about is how I never should have given up band or choir. And looking out on the field, I couldn't help but think about the wasted opportunities that I had to get involved in sports, in clubs, and other extracurriculars that I slowly let slip away. I realized the only reason I hadn't done these things was a fear that so many of us quietly battle. The fear of judgment and criticism. Believe me when I say it's much easier to stay hidden, to build walls around yourself and live in space that feels safe from harsh opinions and negative feedback. But that kind of safety often comes at a cost. It's easy to protect yourself, but just as easy to end up living a life that feels small, distant, and unfulfilling. And it goes without saying, there will always be people that will try to bring you down. But you can't let their voices silence the gifts within you. Because while some might understand or support what you're doing, giving into their doubt means denying the people who are waiting for what you have to offer. There are people out there who need exactly what you have to offer, your creativity, your ideas, and your unique way of seeing things in the world. But they may never get the chance to experience your incredible creations if you keep them hidden. If you don't take the time to use, nurture, and grow your gifts, the world misses out on something only you can give. Your talents aren't just for you. They're meant to inspire, to help, to heal, and to move others. So don't hold back. Let the world see what you're capable of. So, as I give up the mic today as your valedictorian to the class of 2025, I'd like you to remember one thing. The saddest thing in life is wasted talent. So don't let yours go to waste.
How do you turn it? This is turning off.